If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by financial advice, the kind telling you to aggressively clip coupons in one breath and then go buy a commercial real estate empire in the next, well, you're definitely in the right place. Today, we're diving into this explainer where we take all that chaos, 40 scattered finance rules, and synthesize it into one simple, actionable blueprint. We call it the Wealth Pyramid.
So here's our roadmap for today. We've got 5 core pillars. First, rewire your money mindset. Second, master conscious spending. Third, build income-generating assets. Fourth, leverage and accelerate earnings. And finally, number 5, define your true wealth. Let's get right into it.
Starting off at the foundation. Section 1, rewire your money mindset.
So, be honest with me. Have you ever spent a solid hour wandering grocery store aisles, or maybe even driven to 3 different stores just to save 60 cents on a bag of oranges? Or, waited in line for a full hour just to score a free muffin? It sounds totally harmless, right? Like you're just being smart and frugal. But this behavior actually reveals a massive flaw in how we calculate our own value.
Listen, if you've done this, you're effectively valuing your time at a mere 60 cents an hour. It's a trap, and it's based entirely on scarcity, not value. And hey, I'm not pointing this out to judge you, but really to challenge how you think about your time. The wealthy, they just don't do this. Instead of trying to squeeze 60 cents out of an hour, they focus all their mental energy on finding ways to make that exact same hour worth $6,000. They fiercely protect their time because they know it's literally their most valuable asset.
And that brings us to a huge pattern interrupt. Despite what literally everyone says about diversifying, you actually get rich by focusing on one single thing. Take Amazon, for example. Jeff Bezos didn't launch the everything store on day one. He just sold books. He became the book guy first, hit massive scale, and only then expanded. Bill Gates focused purely on software. The golden rule here is you get rich by focusing on one thing, and you stay rich by diversifying. Most people do the exact opposite. They launch 17 new things the second one starts working. Don't do that. Put all your eggs in one basket and then aggressively watch that basket.
Here's another total game changer. Stop seeing money as just paper or digits on a screen and start seeing it as stored life energy. You literally sell hours of your finite life to earn cash. When that clicks, it completely revolutionizes your spending habits. If you're earning $5 an hour, an $80 leather jacket isn't just $80. It is 2 full days of your actual life. When you stop and ask yourself, how many hours of my life does this cost? You start valuing your purchases in a completely different and way more profound way.
All right, moving up the pyramid to Section 2, Master Conscious Spending.
Now, automating your finances is the ultimate key to total freedom. Let's look at this conscious spending plan. 50% goes to fixed costs, 15% to investments, and 15% to short-term savings. That leaves a massive 20% for completely guilt-free spending. You could drop $1,000 a month on fancy restaurants or the latest gadgets without an ounce of anxiety, all because the system is automated. You can spend extravagantly on things you absolutely love, as long as you mercilessly cut costs on the things you don't care about, like, say, dropping that pricey gym membership to just jog in the park instead.
But conscious spending also means finding out where your money is silently leaking away. You've probably heard of the latte factor. Well, one woman at a finance seminar realized she was spending $10 every single day on coffee and a snack before lunch. By cutting out just half of that, a simple $5 a day habit, she realized something absolutely mind-blowing. If she invested that $5 at a 10% yearly return, she could potentially retire with $1.2 million. Your leak might not be coffee. Actually, scratch that. It's probably unused subscriptions or takeout. But finding it, that is literally a $1 million realization.
Of course, to really clear the runway for saving and investing, you have got to crush your consumer debt. To do that, we use the debt snowball method. It's a simple 3-step process. First, list your debts from the smallest balance to the largest. Second, pay the bare minimum on all of them. And third, throw every single extra dollar you can find at the absolute smallest debt until it is completely gone. Then you just roll that payment into the next smallest. But here's the secret sauce. Intentionally leave out your massive 35-year mortgage. If you throw a house on this list, it's so incredibly large it'll just discourage you. Focus on the quick wins to build that momentum early on.
Okay, our defense is set. Section 3, build income-generating assets.
Getting rich is honestly simpler than most people make it out to be. You just need to buy more assets. By definition, an asset puts money in your pocket, while a liability takes it out. This realization is a total game changer.
For instance, one investor bought a rental property with a $12,000 down payment, and it generated $40 a month in positive cash flow. Great, right? But then he realized a video he made for just a few $100 was bringing in that exact same $40 every single month. Both of those are assets. You build them or buy them once, and they just keep feeding you month after month.
Now, a quick warning when you're acquiring paper assets. Beware of hidden management fees. Say you and your sibling both invest $100,000 at an 11% return, but they pay a 1% management fee and you pay a 2% fee. Over 30 years, the difference is staggering. That tiny, seemingly harmless 1% fee difference will devour nearly 24% of your total earnings. It leaves you over $400,000 poorer. Always do your research on fees.
And as you're building these assets up, keep in mind that freedom is way easier to reach than you think. You do not need to be crazy rich to be financially free. There's a story of a student who just rented out her current flat, moved somewhere cheaper, and used that passive rental income to cover her basic living expenses. Boom, financial freedom achieved. She conquered the 10-step ladder of financial freedom long before she even attempted the intimidating 1,000-step climb to actual wealth. Focus on covering your basic needs first so you aren't a hostage to a paycheck.
Moving right along to Section 4, Leverage and Accelerate Earnings.
If your income is tied directly to the clock, meaning to earn more, you literally have to punch in for more hours, you are stuck in the slow lane. You're basically waiting 40 long years to retire at 65. But the fast lane, that's about getting rich young. It requires building a business or assets that run 24/7, even when you're fast asleep or on a beach somewhere. Don't get me wrong, it is still really hard work for a few years, but it sure beats 40 years of hard work.
To get yourself into that fast lane, the wealthy use 3 specific forms of leverage. First is labor, having other people work for you. Second is capital, using money to make more money. But the absolute most accessible and powerful leverage today is the third one, products with no marginal cost of replication. We're talking code and media. You write an app, record a video, or build an explainer like this one just once, but millions of people can consume it at absolutely zero additional cost to you. That is how you earn while you sleep.
And finally, we've reached the top of the pyramid. Section 5. Define your true wealth.
Look, true wealth requires knowing exactly what enough means to you. If you don't define it, the sheer greed for more will destroy everything you've built. Take the cautionary tale of Rajat Gupta. This was a CEO whose estate was worth a reported $100 million. He had the prestige, the power, the wealth, everything, but he still wanted more. During the 2008 financial crisis, he used insider info about a Warren Buffett investment to secretly buy shares. Long story short, he was arrested and his legacy was ruined, all because $100 million simply wasn't enough. Never compare your wealth to others, because there is always going to be someone with more.
So, how do you actually retire early today without waiting decades or living like a hermit with zero expenses? You just need to find work you genuinely love, work that feels like play. Think about a kid building with Lego blocks. They're so completely absorbed, having so much fun that they literally forget to eat lunch. Imagine getting paid to feel like that. That is the truest form of early retirement. Working not because you have a light bill due, but because you genuinely want to. You're living today exactly as you wish.
So what's the ultimate takeaway from this whole explainer? True wealth isn't that giant pile of cash you're hoarding. Money is just a tank of water that will eventually run dry. Real wealth is becoming the person who knows how to dig the well. Jim Rohn hit the nail on the head when he lost his fortune. He realized the money was only 10% of his wealth. The remaining 90%, that was the skill he had built, which allowed him to just rebuild it all over again. So I'll leave you with this. What unstoppable skills are you building today that no market crash could ever take away from you?